65% of managers interviewing you will not give you the job if you do not make eye contact with them.
Oh, well, that's
I think it should be 100%.
Yeah, if you can't make eye contact.
Can you imagine that? You're sitting in front of somebody trying to get a job at their company for them to pay you money to live your life, and you don't look at them and make eye contact.
No, you don't need no shoegazer.
Unless you depend what's the job. Or maybe you work with cars and you're just really good at it. You're just not a good people person.
You still need to make eye
80%
contact.
of the people out there probably are not good at people skills. People like to just be left alone, do their job.
Right, but you're trying to make your best impression to get the job and then be left alone.
Or they're shy. A lot of people are shy.
Oops.
What was that?
Charlie girl.
Oh, your dog.
Charlie's looking for squirrels.
I'll tell you, mine's been scaring the crap out of me lately. Roula, your dog, how old is he? A year now?
Charlie is, she turned a year in July. We got her in October, though.
Okay.
She was born
you got
in
to let him
July.
wean. Mine is now almost 15, and she scares me to every day. I come home, and I'm looking all over for her, and she's hiding in, the pile of clothes in the hamper, and she's not moving when Mango, and I'm like, oh my God, is she dead? Like every day I get that terror.
Oh my God.
You've been killing your dog off for the last 2.5 years.
Oh my God, she scares me
really have.
because
You really have.
I'm like shaking her and she's not waking up, and I put my finger up to her nose. I'm like, is there breath coming out of it? And it's just scaring me to death.
She's going to outlive one of us.
Well, probably me.
Well, I think
I've used up 8 of the 9 lives.
Like 15
we're doing
years,
Look at Me Now
12 years.
next week, and the Mango calls up. Yeah, we said I would die.
Yeah, Mango's going to call in and say, my guy's been telling me I'm dead for 2.5 years in the
I want her
laundry
to live
pile.
forever, but she scares me to death. Somebody out there has got to have experienced this with a senior dog. You start oh my God, is today the day? You
Just
worry.
like with your parents.
Yeah.
As they get older, you just worry about them more and more and more.
Totally.
Oh, God, tell me
Because then
about
you
it.
realize you're for those who unfortunately lost their parents young, like you, Eric, you lost your parents young. You never had to see that transition of them from being your parent
to me,
to now you take care of your parent.
My mom was always, in my mind, 42, and my dad was always 55.
That's when it stopped.
That's it. I still think of her as Mrs. Goldberg with those shoulder pads and the same style.
Well, that was the time frame, right?
Yep.
It was the 90s.
Crazy.
90. Yeah, 1990.
And 42 in 1990 is not the 42 of
2023.
Oh,
no, not at all. You see women in their mid-40s, you'd be like, wow, I thought they were 21. Back then, when somebody was 40, they looked like what we would say 60 today.
It kind of blows my mind now when I watch stuff that is. Actually, this is a good connection to the story we're talking about. When you watch something when you're young, and everybody to you is an adult by a mile, they are adults. And then when you get to that age and you see these actors in this movie from 25 years ago, you're like, oh, huh. I think that person's supposed to be actually younger than me.
Yeah,
right now?
Bud, could you be like Brad Pitt? Does he do anything for you because he's old? Old man?
That's the thing. I never got the Brad Pitt hype until Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
But an actor of his caliber who's maybe older, like a George Clooney
Have you seen an actor
or
that's
Tom
35,
Cruise.
40, you're like...
no, because Pedro Pascal.
Is he like an old man to you, Ahmad, or is he just a seasoned actor? You don't look at him as an old man.
When we said the 42 thing, you kind of smirked.
Pedro Pascal's 48, and you're attracted to him?
I am attracted to him. I'm attracted to Idris Elba, Colman Domingo. I'm attracted to older guys.
Yeah, Idris Elba is I think,
on TV
57.
and rich.
That too, but there's hot old guys. What do you want me to say? I love hot old guys. Is that what you want me to say?
No, but I'm saying you didn't have that when we were younger. I had a conversation with my daughter. My daughter is 23 years old now, and she's going on about Rob Lowe, who she got to meet one time. She goes, oh my God, he's gorgeous. I'm like, Faith, you're 23, he's 60. I'm like,
yeah, but this is how 60-year-old men have 23-year-old
and I'm
girlfriends.
like, yeah. I said, if you brought him home, I'd be like, no way, man. He's like,
no, you'd be fangirling.
Oh, yeah.
Don't move, Dad, you're hugging my boyfriend.
Not if he's dating my daughter. Hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't bring, I don't care if he's famous or not. You don't date when you're 23 a 60-year-old
You
man.
wouldn't care? You'd be mad about that?
Yes,
Rob Lowe?
I don't want my daughter dating a 60-year-old man.
If Rob Lowe was single and your daughter met him and was like, hi, Catherine McPhee to David, what's his name, David Foster, you'd be like,
okay, forget about me. Roula, Eric, you both have got young daughters. Say they're starting to date and they want to bring home famous rich celebrity who's pushing 60. You're not going to be down with that.
Well, I guess I don't have to worry about you when I'm gone.
Yeah, taken care of. Yeah, there you go.
Got that money.
So you're about the old dowry concept then.
Well,
if they love each other, that's the
how it
first
worked out.
thing that matters.
Sure.
Yeah, but they're going to go through heartache because they'll be 30 and their husband will be dead of old age.
There's no
get all this
guarantees in
money.
life. Yeah, then you get the cash, even better.
Those 25-year-olds are like, hell yeah, I don't have to be married to him that long, and I get all his stuff.
God.
Okay, my point is, though, about these older couples, I mean, these older actors looking like, wow, that's so weird. When I was a kid, there was a movie called When Harry Met Sally with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. And it was totally over my head. It was not a movie I wanted to see because it was like what adults watch. Like, I didn't get it.
There's no action.
Have you ever heard of that movie, Amand?
Yeah,
When Harry Met Sally?
when she's like, "I'll have what she's having." Is that that one?
It's this famous scene.
Okay, so
Wait, it's
the
that one.
point of this movie is the two characters in 1977 graduate college and they don't know each other, but they drive to New York together. It was an 18-hour drive, and it's all the conversation on this drive. Then they just go their separate ways. They never think they're going to see each other. 5 years later, they run into each other on an airplane. Then they never think they're going to see each other. Then 5 years later, they run into each other again. And it's so interesting because I was like,
I thought they were lifelong friends.
No, it was 5 years, and 5 years.
They never became friends and talked to each other a lot, like during.
I thought
They did in
friends.
the end. In the third meeting, they became friendly, and then they were like BFFs. And the whole concept, though, the reason where I'm going with this is, I clicked it the other day on Amazon, and I was like, well, let me watch it now. Now that I'm an adult who is married with children, and I have been dating, and I have learned all the things, and we do this show, it is pretty revolutionary that even today, Ahmad, I'm talking to you because you're the youngest one in the room. If you watch that today, I still think it would interest you because it is about the dynamic of whether you can be friends with the opposite sex or not, if there's any kind of attraction. That is a theme that will never die. I don't care generationally, for the next 50 years, you will have a 25-year-old male who is possibly attracted to a 25-year-old female who has a girlfriend and says, no, you can't be friends with her. Right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Pretty revolutionary for whatever year that movie came out.
So many girlfriends, even me being a gay male. I had a female best friend whose husband swore that I was secretly into her and that I was going to steal her from him. It was crazy. It got to the
Meanwhile,
point.
you're like, I'm going for you, buddy.
Not with that attitude. He was a weirdo. But yeah, it's crazy. It happens.
So whatever happened with that?
I stopped talking to her. This is the same friend who had my other friend's dad buy her OnlyFans.
Oh,
and he was trying to talk to her.
Did we talk to them on the show?
No, we talked about
them.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about them.
We did a little group theory. I didn't know which one to pick.
You put some Space City Pretty group therapy on your Instagram and let people remember, refresh their memories on that drama. I want to kick some tickets out to our lucky caller of the 9 o'clock hour because you're so lucky hearing the Roundtable break. If you're caller 10 at 713-390-KRBE, Noah Kahn is coming to the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. If you would like to see Noah Kahn June 13th of 2024, you score a pair of tickets for that month outside at the Woodlands. Y'all, since I started working at KRBE answering the phones, I never for the life of me understood why the summer season was the outdoor season at can you imagine if it was October or March at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, how amazing those concerts would feel? But every one of us has been to a show there where the clothes are sticking to our bodies and we try to go to the bathroom and our clothes are stuck
You feel
to
that
us.
water dripping down your leg. Like, what is that? It's a sweat.
Yeah, it's your sweat.
I'm not even moving and it's just sweat down my
Did I
leg.
just pee myself?
Yeah, what is going on?
Yes, I bought a $45 John Mayer tank top that didn't fit because it was so damn hot at the Woodlands one year. I was like, I've got to change my clothes, and this is all they've got. It was the cheapest thing in the merch tent.
Behind me,
the $45 John Mayer tank top.
It was either Kiss or somebody I saw there, and the guy behind me had a lot of jalapenos or something and kept burping.
Oh, no, that's the worst. Get that pepper burp.
You could smell it?
Yeah.
Ew.
Like,
God, stop. It's
At
like
least
being on a
12
plane
times.
in a farter.
Eric, that was like when we went to go see The Departed. It was the KRBE premiere of The Departed.
Oh, yeah.
And I could smell the guy's breath next to me and whatever he had eaten. I was like, oh,
Hot
God.
breath.
I kept telling Eric this. I would be on the perch the edge of my seat.
Yep.
Because if
Just
the
trying to
guy
get over
was
my
back,
side.
I would get front or I would lean to Eric because I could not with the
And I
breath.
was such a
I could
gentleman.
not with that hot
I
breath.
should have switched seats, but sorry,
No.
Roula.
It's okay. I took that.
Planes, though, it's really inconsiderate. Can we put this blanket statement out here? I flew, was it 3 weeks ago? And coming back, somebody had egg salad with onions. And it was so overwhelming. And they brought this bag and they
It
unpacked
was probably a sandwich they bought in the store.
Yeah.
I mean, in the airport
my God,
kiosk,
the
right?
stench, and it just lingered the whole flight.
Oh, but that sounds really good right now.
Why can't people wait?
With extra onion?
Yes, red.
Why can't you wait 2 hours? Like if it's a 2-hour flight, I understand if you're like going to Europe or something, you got to your food, I guess.
Yeah, but you
Still
don't need to eat a
sucks.
crap
Well, think about
sandwich.
it, Eric. If it's an
But a
11
tuna
o'clock
sandwich on
flight, it's
Subway-
more than
Subway?
2 hours. If you got on that, if your flight took off at 11,
some
you probably got
snacks.
to the airport at 10, or maybe you just didn't have time, or you had anxiety, and you want to stay near the gate, whatever it is. Then by the time you land and by the time you get to where you're going, you've missed all of lunch.
Get
So we
some-
want to eat
Still,
all
though, you don't
lunch.
have to eat that stinky stuff. Just get a bowl of rice or something.
From the flight attendant, you can get something.
I saw a guy, he went viral because he brought like his whole rack of ribs from Chili's on his flight.
no.
No, he did not.
Brought
Yes,
a rack of
they
ribs.
took a picture of it. They
Oh,
were like,
baby
look
back,
at this
baby
guy.
back, baby back, baby back.
At least it smells good.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to smell that, though, the whole flight.
I like ribs.
I love
Charlie
ribs.
likes
Ribs are
ribs
good
too,
too.
right, Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie
You need to
likes
tend to your dog.
Charlie like ribs?
Hey, Sam,
Because
you got
there's
something
people
going on?
working in the street and they're freaking
What you
her
got going
out.
on?
Sam, aren't you
you.
doing something today?
I have two things. So we're hooking you up. KRBE is hooking you up with pink tickets from 10 to 3 today
Yes.
because her concert is here on Wednesday at Minute Maid Park. So we have those last minute tickets. So you want to make sure you listen to KRBE if you have not gotten your pink tickets. 10 to 3.
That's a lot
10
of
to
pink
3.
tickets. I love
yes, every single hour.
Such a fun show.
And I have a remote today in Pasadena Get Down Rodeo from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Hopefully
We
the
got
rain
a
will
lot
hold
of
off.
peeps in Pasadena. I was just
Yeah,
out
The
there this
Pasadena
weekend.
Rodeo's happening today?
Yeah, it was.
that
Or is it
happening-
continuing?
It's continuing. It's continuing.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I was supposed to be out there on Friday, and unfortunately, because of there was
The weather a couple last
yeah,
Friday, right?
weather was just not okay. So I'm hoping. I mean, the weather's not looking great right now, but I'm hoping that I'll be there today from 5 to 7 with KRBE.
Go see
All right,
Sam.
ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything you missed on our show today, go to krbe.com. Hang out for Sam until 12 o'clock. Don't forget to win your pink tickets every hour from 10 to 3. And we got your hookup, of course, with everything that you want to be close to. We get you there. Go to krbe.com to learn more or download the app. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you 6 o'clock Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.